What do you think is the nature of the trade war? Thank you for your question. We believe this is unilateral versus multilateral. This is also a war between protectionism and free trade. If multilateralism and free trade are threatened, then it brings the negative impact to the global economy development, which will also impact the recovery of a global economy. This does not serve China's core interests. It's also not conducive and serve to the interest of global community. Regarding this big issue, we will fight firmly. Thank you.
China says that it's going to fight back with comprehensive measures. What are those measures going to be? Would it include China creating and expanding its own $100 billion worth of tariffs? And if so, what would be tariffed? What would be added onto the list that isn't already on the $50 billion list?
您好，您现在的时候说过，这个中国会采取新的综合应对措施来捍卫我们的这个国家和人民的利益。想问一下，这个新的综合措施包括哪些措施？另外，如果说这个中国会也拿出一张清单来的话，这个清单上面包括什么产品？谢谢。
Thank you for your question. As I just mentioned, China is fully prepared. If the United States is about to announce the new additional tariff list worth of $100 billion, we will take the immediate action with countermeasures. All options are considerable. We noticed that the higher officials from the United States right now, negotiations between both sides are undergoing. What's your take? Thank you. We have noticed that different government officials from the United States had expressed the same message as you just mentioned. However, it's not in accordance with the reality. In recent times, both sides from the economic and trade sectors have not conducted any negotiations or talks. The United States released the Sanction 301 and their tariff lists. China takes firm reaction towards it, and the United States consider an additional tariff list with $100 billion, and China give even firm reaction. Under this circumstance, the both sides it's not possible to make any negotiation. To the interest of time, only one last question. Thank you. From Economic Daily. My question regarding that if United States keep escalating the tension, what's your feedback? Thank you. We follow the principle of our baseline. We prepared to take actions against the further escalation of tension, and we also had plans with concrete details against the situation. But the Chinese philosophy is we will not make troubles. If someone making troubles, targeting us, we will take firm reactions. For the Chinese people, we consider things seriously. We will work walk our talk. And this is coming to the end of the press conference. Thank you. As I just mentioned, all options are in our consideration.
All right, that was official from the Ministry of Commerce speaking to journalists and respond to the latest statement from the United States threatening more sanctions on Chinese goods that could worth up to $100 billion. A very strong stance with some tough warning there. The official called it a wrong move from the United States that will have serious consequences. China is ready to take countermeasures right away without any hesitations. Let's unpack what's been said here. Let me bring in our guest, Mr. He Weiwen. What do you make the message from that officials from Ministry of Commerce?
I think the Ministry of Commerce spokesman makes it clear, extremely clear that first, we are not for trade war, but we are not afraid of that. Once Trump imposes on us, we'll fight to the end, whatever the cost. That's one. And the second, not only in a resolution, but also in action, we will launch countermeasures immediately, equal size, equal intensity. I think this will be effective.
Yeah. The spokesperson said it will take countermeasures without any hesitations.
Yes.
What will those countermeasures be, do you think?
I think we have enough tools in our toolbox. For instance, I suggest that we might think about additional tariffs on the imports from the U.S. of oil and natural gas, of which the United States is so eager to export to China. And also we could have different other measures because we have cooperation with the United States, not only in trading goods, but also in trading services and also other kinds of cooperation. We can do that in many ways.
Earlier this week, China's strategy was to target, certain demographics, singled out certain sectors, agriculture,
Yes.
soybeans,
Yes.
cars,
Correct.
planes. Targeting demographics, voters will vote for Trump because there's a midterm election coming up.
Yes.
And that seems to be working. That seems to have gotten under the
yes.
skin of Mr. Trump.
I think, for instance, the soybean growers are worrying about the fall in their output and the fall in their incomes. So that's the direct result of Donald Trump's
But then we
measures.
heard this threatening more sanctions coming up. Were you worried that this will only escalate tensions?
I think Donald Trump has that as a big stick. He wants to make the stick bigger and bigger in order to threaten you and bring you to the negotiating table and yield to all his demands. Then China will not yield at that. We also will raise our stick to say, we are not afraid of you. We will have the equal size stick. Okay, let's talk. We shall not yield to you. We should talk equally on the basis of WTO rules.
What are the possibilities, though, that everybody will calm down and come to the negotiating table, giving the certain circumstances?
First of all, I think we should not pay too much attention to either trade wars or fighting or negotiating, because both of them are only tools of trade policies. And Donald Trump with the big stick is not the end, the purpose. The purpose is to make you yield. So he wants to bring you to the negotiation table. So whatever,
He's
if we
bringing more
fight
chips
or
to the
if we
table.
sit down at this negotiation table, there will be tough negotiations for sure. So the purpose is we should not yield to the United States, but defend the WTO rules and defend our basic rights of China.
All right, thank you very much for your analysis.